and introduce Mr. Manvendra Singh Shekhawat. He is a passionate visionary in climate change and sustainable development, an explorer, innovator, and entrepreneur whose imaginative spirit has led him to redefine luxury tourism and community building. He established iconic boutique hotels Suryagarh in Jaisalmer, Narendra Bhavan in Bikaner, and Mary Budden Estate in Binsar, revitalizing local heritage and culture while captivating visitors with authentic experience. Driven by a desire to address systematic problems, he founded the I Love Foundation in 2013, collaborating with local communities on more than 30 projects, including large-scale cleanliness campaigns and India's first citizen airline partnerships. His current endeavor, the Dhun project, epitomizes his holistic vision for living. Over the past 8 years, he and his team have transformed 500 acres of barren land into flourishing ecosystem designed for 8,500 residents. The regenerative habitat aims to unite traditional knowledge system, cutting-edge innovations, and a communal ethos to unlock humanity's highest potential, establishing a pioneering blueprint for the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Manvendra Singh Shekhawat.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Namaskar. I understand that 21 countries are represented here. Welcome. Here in India, it's a country that lives in many centuries at the same time. There are many Indias in this India that we stand today. And we talk about Seva, Shanti, united peace. I'm always perplexed. I see 5,000 years of civilization history, and I see the most extraordinary examples of what can sustain civilization. But I also am firmly aware of the reality that 900 million people in our country live on less than $3 a day. Now, of course, that is not a benchmark of their prosperity, but just from some basic hygiene standards, it's a visibly low amount. And I always wonder that the 300 million people of those, which is the size of the United States of America, which is the size of all of Europe put together, which is the size of Middle East, what would peace mean for them? And if these people represent 1/5, 1/6 of humanity, then what would peace mean for the rest of the world if they live in that condition? So the topic that I've really been supremely inspired by also comes from a personal journey. And that journey is that my father, my mother, they come from very humble beginnings. They were one of those 300 million people. They were one of those 900 million people. They were one of those people who did not have certainty of 2 meals a day. And here I am, having traversed because of their sacrifices, their endeavors, to the other side, to be giving this intellectual talk to all of you. So I often wonder that what is it that can create opportunity at a scale that is unproportionate in human civilization. And I find that systematically seeing things may be where the answer is. You see, these 900 million people who live on less than $3 a day have also been, because of hundreds of years of colonization, their minds have been so deeply colonized. Their minds have been so deeply colonized that if you ask an average person that what is your idea of success, they are going to only tell you monetary, because that is what there is. All these talks of morality, of humanity, all of these are fantastic things, but they come when you have a full belly. And my entire endeavor, from whatever I have learned from my parents, is that till you create equality of opportunity for everyone, there can be no peace. Till you create equality of opportunity for everyone, there can be no peace. And so what we started working on was that if our societal environment, our physical environment, all of them start creating conditions for equality of opportunity, whether it is through education, whether it is through environment design, what would that world look like? And we have been working on a project which is a very minuscule experiment in making that happen. I mean, think of the environments that we live in today. Our national capital, New Delhi, by the time a child turns 5, they have inhaled an equivalent of 20,000 cigarettes. Our financial capital, Bombay, for every Bombay, there is a Dharavi. And so the idea is that if our living environments have outsized impact in determining the outcomes of our life, how can we change our environment design to create equality of opportunity where self-sufficiency comes to people not at the cost of their environment and their identity, but because of it. And in that endeavor, we started working on a project, and I would like to play a small video to familiarize you with it. Can we please the video?
And our canvas was 500 acres of barren, degraded land on the outskirts of Jaipur. This land had no water, fewer than 30 trees, and soil so saline that you could taste salt in the air. So we did what was obvious. We worked on water. Drawing inspiration from indigenous knowledge systems, we built water channels, farm barns, restored artisanal wells, and created community ponds, some on our land and some in nearby villages. Today, this water system harvests over 600 million liters of rainwater annually. And our goal is to ensure that we never run out of water. Water changed everything. It brought herds from surrounding villages, which helped bioengineer the soil and created the conditions for us to plant food forests and begin farming. We now grow over 60 types of native vegetables, fruits, and grains organically. These small interventions slowly started transforming the region. And our next step was to rewild the land. Since 2016, we have planted over 200,000 native trees using the Miyawaki method and over 100,000 trees using conventional methods. The alchemy of water and trees brought to us our first residents. And in just a few years, a land that once had nothing became home to 180 species of birds and thousands of other life forms. We are now developing land-based education programs to shape a new generation of conscious leaders. We are designing context and climate-responsive energy systems, food systems, and building systems. And we are seeding economic engines that are built on the foundations of culture, connection, and creativity. Our greatest quest is to reimagine how human settlements of the future could be built. Settlements that are in harmony with nature. Settlements built with the synthesis of ancestral intelligence and artificial intelligence. But most importantly, settlements that don't become burdens, but legacies and living inheritances for future generations.
So I was just like to conclude by saying that I started by quoting a number of 900 million Indians who live on less than $3 a day. If these people just did exactly what we have done in this room, to put a roof on their head, to get food 3 times a day, and to create
some wealth so that their children have a shot at future. If they used exactly the same playbook that we have used, it will be game over for the world. And therefore, Seva for us, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, has to see things on a systemic level, that we change this playbook so that we can build civilizations that will work and that will last. Thank you.